Airbnb suddenly thinks it's a lot more valuable.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Indeed, committed to delivering quality candidates so businesses can focus on interviewing people with the skills they need. Learn more at Indeed.com/credit. And by C3.ai. C3.ai software enables organizations to use artificial intelligence at enterprise scale, solving previously unsolvable business problems. Learn more at C3.ai.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore in for David Brancaccio. Airbnb is set to make its grand entrance onto the NASDAQ exchange on Thursday. Now, companies set their targeted initial stock price when they go public, but Airbnb is raising that price, valuing the company as a whole at as much as $42 billion. The announcement could come later today. Marketplace's Nova Safo joins me now with more. Hi, Nova.
Good morning, Sabri.
So what specifically do we expect from Airbnb today?
So it's a new regulatory filing raising the price range for its initial public offering from $45 to $55 a share to as much as $60 a share. Seems like a small change, but the company set the previous price range just last week. Now the expectation is to sell as much as $3 billion in stock and have a company valuation, as you mentioned, that could approach $42 billion.
Why is Airbnb doing this? I mean, is it not kind of odd to raise the price of its target in such difficult economic times?
Right. The company does have a positive story to tell, though. It was profitable in the third quarter thanks to a shift to long-term rentals and domestic rentals. Also, thanks to steep cost cutting. All that's turned Airbnb's fortunes around, but there's a bigger story here too, Sabri, and that's IPOs. They're red hot this year, raising a record amount, somewhere between 140 to more than $150 billion.
But again, I mean, that's somewhat odd. How can that be when there's, so much uncertainty right now in the economy, so many jobless Americans?
Right. Well, investors are looking ahead, at least for the time being, and they're considering which companies will be doing well a year from now. That's meant IPOs this year averaging one-day gains that are almost twice last year's gains on one-day basis. So, and last year IPOs were red hot as well. So it's definitely a IPOs market right now.
All right. Marketplace's Nova Safo, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The economy may get back to pre-pandemic levels by the second half of 2021. At least that is what a lot of business forecasters think, according to a new survey from the National Association for Business Economists. But they also say it's going to be a tough, long haul this winter. Marketplace's Megan McCarty-Carino has more.
Patricia Moody is a consultant who works with a bicycle manufacturer in South Carolina. The company was busy all through the summer and fall.
It was just a delightful surprise. People would line up to get the unassembled bicycles as they came off the trucks.
Consumer spending helped boost some businesses, according to an October NABE survey. Now forecasters are more positive about the economic prospects for late next year. Ken Simonson is an economist who works with the association.
Unquestionably, the news about a vaccine soon to be available has, I think, sparked a good deal of optimism.
But the recent surge of COVID-19 has tempered expectations for this winter. Chad Moutre is chief economist with the National Association of Manufacturers.
So I think, there's still a long way to go.
While Moutre says overall manufacturing is down about 5% since before the pandemic, he points out car sales and electronics have done better than expected. I'm Megan McCarty-Carino for Marketplace.
Let's do the numbers real quick. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all down in the 1 to 0.4% range.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Omidyar Network, a social change venture that is reimagining how capitalism should work. Learn more about their efforts to recenter our economy around individuals, community, and societal well-being at omidyar.com. And by WeWork, committed to working in new ways, focusing on health and safety, flexible terms with purposefully designed spaces. More at WeWork.com/tomorrow.
60% of Americans say they definitely or probably will take a COVID-19 vaccine, according to a Pew Research poll. 21%, though, say they do not intend to take that vaccine, and they're pretty sure more information won't change their minds. So what will? Marketplace's Kristen Schwab reports.
When it comes to convincing people to get vaccinated, what look like small gains can actually be pretty big. Noel Brewer researches vaccination behavior at the University of North Carolina. He says an increase of just 5% is considered a success, and it takes a lot of work to get there.
There's no single intervention that's going to get us to high vaccination rates. We're going to have to do a little of everything. We're going to have to try 20 things all at once.
Like having famous people get vaccinated on camera. Former presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton have already volunteered. And surely celebrities will be getting their shots on social media. Star power's been persuasive before.
Hey, kids, could I talk to you for about 30 seconds? This is Elvis Presley. If you believe polio is beaten, I ask you to listen.
Presley made that PSA in 1957, not long after he got a polio vaccine live on The Ed Sullivan Show. And his influence worked. What doesn't influence decisions, says Brewer at UNC, doomsday warnings about the virus or scientific explanations about the vaccine. And pleading with people to do it for grandma and grandpa, we saw how well that worked with masks.
Interventions that focus on people think and say may or may not be effective, but it's the ones that focus on what they do that are hugely effective.
So make it easy to get the vaccine. Make it free. Offer appointments all day long. Administer vaccines at convenient and visible places like pharmacies and grocery stores, maybe even at work.
It shows that, oh, this is available lots of places, lots of people are doing it. This is a routine part of life.
Gretchen Chapman researches decision-making and health behaviors at Carnegie Mellon. She says eventually we may reach a point where enough people are vaccinated that it just seems like the right thing to do.
And so we're very social creatures and we want to follow what others like us are doing and identify with the groups that are important to us.
There's another factor that could play into people's willingness to get the COVID vaccine that hasn't been a consideration with measles or the flu: the economy. Keith Holyoke is a psychology professor at UCLA who studies strategies to influence vaccine skeptics.
I mean, there's an argument that basically suppressing the disease is going to be economically beneficial because basically it'll get society back to normal.
As we say a lot on this show, the economic crisis is a health crisis. To get people working and spending again, we need to solve the health part first. I'm Kristen Schwab for Marketplace.
From APM, American Public Media.